Mobile phone and on television. Watch the games anywhere and take the NLL wherever you're going. Visit NLL.com for more information. Just a reminder, because of the playoff implications of tonight's game, we're going to be watching the Calgary-Washington game live on my iPad up here in Sky Level. The National Lacrosse League emphasizes that anyone who uses objectionable or undesirable language or consumes alcoholic beverages not legally sold inside the arena, or anyone who throws anything onto the playing surface or at any player, official, or other spectator, shall be subject to immediate ejection from the premises, in addition to any other remedy, fine, or arrest as may be provided by law. Also, ladies and gentlemen, as we get our mini games going here, we're going to have, it's a live lacrosse game, obviously. So please be aware as balls may leave the playing surface without warning. To avoid the ball making a personal introduction to your head, please be alert at all times. If you're injured, please approach the nearest usher and ask for help or directions to the medical station.
Few more scenarios in place. Washington has to win, and there's a whole bunch of other things that have to go on. I could take you through it. Go on the NLL website to find out a little more about it. We'll run through the scenarios a little bit later. The weekend of April 26 to 28 is going to be key. That's when we'd be looking at having our first home playoff date. Also after that, the weekend of May 3rd to the 5th would be the division finals, and if we can make it once again back to the championship, that would be on the weekend of May 10th to the 12th, the NNL championship game presented by Reebok. Don't forget, tomorrow you can meet two of our biggest stars down at United Cycle from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock. Mark Matthews and Aaron Bold will be on hand to sign autographs, so make sure you head on down to United Cycle just off Gateway Boulevard. Still got it? All right. I'm going to get killed here. Make sure you meet a couple genuine NLL stars. And Rush fans, don't forget, for every goal tonight we score at home, Crystal Glass will give $50 to the Raise the Roof Foundation. Raise the Roof is Canada's only national charity dedicated to finding long-term home solutions for youth. Don't forget to head up to the Crystal Glass booth tonight, pick up a toque for only $10. Tonight's game is presented by World Health. World Health are the proud sponsors of the Edmonton Rush and the Edmonton Crush. Look out for World Health at tonight's game. They're giving away over 3,000 one-week passes with 11 health locations. You can work out at a location near you. The Grind Sports is the official retailer of the Edmonton Rush and is Edmonton's premier lacrosse destination. They have you covered from head to toe with brands such as RBK, STX, Harrow, Nike, and Cascade, to name a few. Whether it's your association needs, team gear, or custom gear, they do it all. Visit their booth on the main concourse level. The Grind Sports, we live lacrosse. Canadian Linen has a huge selection of uniforms for any industry, from automotive to hospitalities. We have it all, Canadian Linen. And don't forget to visit the concourse and get your 50-50 tickets. You'll be supporting the Greater Edmonton Lacrosse Council, and you could go home with a big cash prize. Fans, we've got a huge halftime show planned for you tonight. Following our regular Edmonton Sun Carrier Challenge, we'll be welcoming a group of Pee Wee lacrosse players for our annual Pee Wee lacrosse tournament. Then we look forward to a once-a-year performance from the Mini Crush Girls. Stay in your seats for tonight's halftime to catch all of the excitement. All right, kids, we've got less than 1 minute. 1 minute left in the game.
And a quick shout out to these teams that are on the floor now. We have in blue the Edmonton Blues, and in blue the St. Albert Rams. Not having kids that play for either organization, I really can't tell you which is which. And we got 30 seconds left in this game. Quick shout out to all of our teams that were in this little mini tournament today. The Beaumont Raiders, guys, where are you? Beaumont Raiders, the Spruce Grove Posse, Fort Saskatchewan Rebels, the Edmonton Blues, St. Albert Rams, and our halftime show is going to feature the Edmonton Warriors against the Sherwood Park Titans. Bump up, and we're in 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, fans, and a big hand for all these little guys out here on the field. Way to go, fellas. You guys did a great job. This is your future Edmonton Rush.
Thanks, Dennis. I am here with the beautiful, the talented, the wonderful Edmonton Crush dance team. And tonight marks the first of 3 straight home games, everybody. Every weekend for the next 3 weekends, we are back here at home, and every game has huge playoff implications. So we need more and more of you here in the stands to cheer on your Edmonton Rush. Don't forget, our next home game is Sunday, April 14th at 2 o'clock against the Rochester Nighthawks, a rematch of last year's championship final, which we unfortunately lost. So next game is a huge revenge game for us. For more ticket information, go to edmontonrush.com or call 732-7874. And again, fans, without further ado, I am thrilled to welcome once again your Edmonton Crush!
Good evening, lacrosse fans. Welcome to Rexall Place in Edmonton. The Edmonton Rush have not been here since February 22nd when they lost to the Minnesota Swarm. At that time, the Rush were 3-5, and many people wondered if maybe their season was going the wrong way. They started a 5-game road trip, won all 5 games by a combined score of 74-50. And now the Rush come home and find themselves in first place in the West Division, tied with the Calgary Roughnecks. And if they win all 3 games, they guarantee themselves home floor advantage throughout the playoffs in the National Lacrosse League. They've clinched a playoff spot, and they, with the win tonight and a Washington loss, will clinch their first ever home playoff date. However, the opposition tonight is rolling, the Colorado Mammoth. With a big trade at the deadline, they bring in one of the best offensive gunners in the league, Casey Powell. You put him on one side, you throw John Grant Jr. on the other, and you have a dynamic duo. It will be a tough test tonight for the Rush, and as they take on the Mammoth. Welcome to Rexall Place. I'm Jason Greger along with Kevin Howard. Kevin, the Edmonton Rush, a completely different team than what you saw the last time they were here at Rexall Place. Offensively, they're dominating, scoring 15 goals a game. Defensively, they're only giving up 10 goals a game. Aaron Bold has found his game. Really not much to critique when you look at the Rush performance the last 6 weeks.
Well, this is the team that Keenan has been waiting for, and and these Rush fans, they've been waiting for a winner, and they've really put it together on this road trip. A 5-game winning streak. They come into Rexall. They really need to find their groove and keep their winning ways going at home. They do have a 3-game homestand to go into the playoffs, so hopefully they haven't peaked too early, but they are hot. They are rolling right now, and they need to keep this momentum going.
And the opposition tonight, of course, the Colorado Mammoth. Anytime you have John Grant Jr. on the team, you have to be alert and aware. He is still, for my money, the most purely dangerous offensive player in the game, the most dynamic guy on the floor. And the Mammoth come in. They are currently in 5th place just due to games played. They come in at 5-8, battling with Minnesota. After tonight, they will finish the season with a back-to-back home and away against the Swarm. How do you defend John Grant Jr.? If you're the Rush, what's the strategy to try to contain him?
Well, you'd play in two-man teams. The defense, there'll be two big bodies matching up against him. He's a big guy, and really you cannot match up against him one-on-one. So usually he plays with Adam Jones on that left side, and you'll have two big bodies matching up, and it's just a lot of communication. The rover, the middle guy, is going to be staying at home and being ready to slide over and double. But take a look at John Grant to dominate tonight. He's one of those players that you can't shut him down altogether. You just do. You have to contain him and hopefully make sure that no one else catches fire, because he's going to put up points. He'll put up a lot of points. That's inevitable. But the offense has to answer the bell and keep playing like they have for the past 5 games.
It's very interesting coming into tonight's game. You got the leading goal scorer in the NLL, John Grant Jr. with 37. And you have the player that many people say is potentially the next John Grant Jr. Mark Matthews is tearing up the league in his rookie season. 35 goals, 59 points. He's been named Rookie of the Month for the first 3 months of the season. He's a lock to win Rookie of the Year. He's a big body, shoots hard. He just doesn't maybe have the savvy of a John Grant Jr., but we are seeing, I think, the next generation of John Grant Jr. with the Edmonton Rush.
Well, he's a young guy. He's a rookie coming into this league, and it was almost like Bambi on ice the first couple games, him feeling his way through, and you can see that he is going to dominate this league, and he is having a phenomenal season so far. I wouldn't even compare him against the rookies. He is that far and above better than everyone else in that rookie class. He is a legit superstar, and it's a coming out party this season for him. Took a little while for him to find his groove, but he's found his way, and he's putting up some big points, and this offense needs him.
The Mammoth will go with young Ty Belanger in between the pipes, and he kind of goes against everything stature-wise of goalies. He's very slender, not overly big, 6 feet tall, 185 pounds, but he's incredibly solid on his angles. He doesn't get caught overplaying guys. When you look, you see a lot of the net with him in there. He seems to kind of give you more confidence and then take it away. How will the Rush attack shooting-wise tonight against Belanger?
Well, Belanger, he reminds me of Dallas Elliott. A lot smaller guy. Elliott, one of the best. He's all Hall of Famer. And he just gives and takes. And you know what? Again, like you said, that style gives you that confidence that, yeah, I got him here. But he's very quick, very, very elusive. For the Rush forwards, they got to just stick to what they've been doing. And maybe that might work for the Colorado's favor. These guys might be shooting it from the outside, thinking that they can beat them or, rip it from the outside, and that might pull them away from what they're doing. So they have to stay a disciplined bunch and keep doing what they've been doing and stick to the game plan.
Well, the Rush come in, of course, led offensively. Ryan Ward has 64 points. Matthews with 59. Corey Small with 57. And Zach Greer has really heated up. He's now got 22 goals on the season with 37 points. They finally, for the first time in franchise history, have a balanced offense. Meanwhile, the acquisition of Casey Powell at the deadline really gave the Mammoth another big stick. Of course, with Adam Jones and John Grant Jr., you throw in Sean Pollock as well. They've also got a four-headed monster, not to mention Jordan McBride has had himself a pretty good season. The Mammoth, they can score goals, Kevin. It's more so defensively. Do you think the Edmonton Rush try to turn this into a track meet after they ran all over Toronto their last game?
Well, this Edmonton Rush group is a very athletic group, lots of speed, so they have no problem playing that track meet style. Their defense is solid. Aaron Bold has turned it on. You take a look at Casey Powell's number, 15 assists, so you know he's going to be holding onto the ball a lot. Again, drawing those double teams, and of course looking over to that big body on the other side, John Grant, who can rip the ball, and he has no problem. Casey Powell pushing all the defense over to one side, giving it over to the big man, and him going hard to the net. That seems to be the key to their offense.
Jason Gregor along with Kevin Howard live at Rexall Place in Edmonton. The Edmonton Rush back home for the first time since February 22nd. I'm not sure they want to be here. They've won 5 straight on the road in between, but obviously they want to impress their fans. Tonight is the first of 3 straight Saturday home games. If they win all 3, they guarantee themselves first place in the entire NLL and potentially could host up to 3 games if need be. But a very desperate and hungry Colorado team tonight. This will be a huge test, Kevin. They can't overlook the Mammoth. I don't think the Rush can be complacent. They have to continue whatever they did on the road, make that game plan similar.
Well, the NLL very similar to football. Any given Sunday, any given weekend, any team can walk in and beat any other team. And this Edmonton team really does have to figure out at home, because if they keep playing like they are, just league-wise, the path to the NLL finals is going to go through Edmonton in the West, and they need to figure it out and get things solved at home if they want any chance to go further in the playoffs.
Big crowd, lots of young lacrosse kids. I had a lacrosse tournament earlier today on the floor, and we will take a quick break. When we return, it'll be the ball drop tonight. The Edmonton Rush taking on the Colorado Mammoth, as you are watching the National Lacrosse League on the Lacrosse Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please rise, remove your hats, and welcome Shawnee Anderson for the singing of the national anthems.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave? Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true North, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God, keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Ty Belanger will get the start in goal tonight for the Colorado Mammoth. A record of 3-2, save percentage of .77, and a goals against average of 10. Aaron Bold gets the start in goal for the Edmonton Rush. His 14th start of the season. He has a record of 8-3, 7.48 save percentage, and a 10.5 goals against average. And the Edmonton Rush, with their first home game since February 22nd, scratches tonight for the Colorado Mammoth. Gavin Prout, a healthy scratch again, big surprise. Also, there is one suspended player sitting out for the Mammoth tonight. Of course, Chet Kosnesny sitting out a game suspension. He is out. Also, Ilya Gaich out with an injury. Gastaldo out, Mac Allen is out, and Ian Hawksby, who did play last week, is done for the season due to he just got hired on full-time as a fireman, and you can't risk injury in the first 6 months. So he, unfortunately, a loss for the Mammoth. He's done for the year. For the Edmonton Rush, they will have Mike Burke as a healthy scratch. All young kids for the Edmonton Rush, as they pretty much went with the exact same roster for the last month. And like any good coach, rarely do you make any lineup changes during a winning streak. Also, Mike Cudmore, the other healthy scratch tonight for the Edmonton Rush. The Rush in the home black. They will go from our broadcast left to right. The Mammoth will wear their road white with the black trim. Jason Greger along with Kevin Howard. We are set to go. O'Talon and Thompson in the face-off circle, and they're going to say Thompson moved early, so it'll be first possession to the Mammoth. And Jones, as Powell comes on late, wearing number 2, or number for him. And they give it to John Grant Jr., 75 points on the season, up against the reigning Defensive Player of the Year in Rubish. Back to Powell. Powell with a nice foot speed around Quinlan. Back pass to Pollock. Pollock switches hands, gets a weak shot, and first save to Bold, and the captain Quinlan jogs to center. He'll cross and just slow it down. Leave it to Ward. Interesting Rush, little superstitious wearing the road jerseys tonight, Kevin, trying to keep that win streak alive. They go to Small in the corner. Stop, stutter step, waits. Dumps it over to Knight in his first year with the Rush. Back to Ward, fakes, waits, and he just put it over top of the net. Shot clock was expiring, weak shot, and McLeod has the rebound. And they will headman it up the far side to Sapito. Sapito will head to the bench to Delgarno. Delgarno with Thompson in chase. To Pollock. To Clark back in the lineup after his healthy scratch in Philadelphia. Over to Grant. Grant. Pass hits a shoulder, and it's picked up by Lintz. And expect to see a good defense from both of these teams, Kevin.
Yeah, and we've seen a good matchup battle early. Rubish and Mitski matching up against John Grant. And you see, anytime John Grant gets matched up, if an offensive player gets caught out there on defense, he's going to the hole against him and going to make them pay.
Turnover, and the Mammoth have it back. Jones looking at Delgarno, scores! Nice pass and reception finish from Delgarno, and the Mammoth lead 1-0, 1:43 into the first quarter.
Great two-man game play there. Delgarno with a nice high pick back door, goes to the net hard, and Adam Jones just threads the needle as Delgarno gets the inside track on him, putting it over the top of Aaron Bold's shoulder to get the first goal of the game.
Holing had it, and then he drops it. Here comes Greer. Greer with the late firing, and there's the first save by Belanger. And Belanger, very good angle goaltender. O'Talon twisting and his way into the Rush zone. Now errant pass, and will that be over and back? Yes, it will be, so it will be Rush possession. And Turner, as the whistle's in. Turner being hounded, he's going to have to hurry, and this is what the Mammoth will do, Kevin. They will hound you quickly, and the Rush, a rookie there, Turner, just wasn't aware of it.
Well, tough break for Turner. I think that the Colorado D-man was right on him, about a foot away, and he didn't get any gap. They blew it in right away, and he had a double team on him. And if that's what the Colorado defense wants to do, they want to swarm you and get on you early and make you make those tough decisions.
Now Dilks working on Grant. Dilks strips him, bounces, picked up by Reed, spinning, scores. And that's Richard Morgan, the big man, with his 6th goal of the season, and the Rush, not the start they want at home. Rush actually have outscored the opposition 52-26 in the first quarter. It's rare they get behind, but they're down 2-0.
Well, they have been red hot to start the first quarters, and a little greasy one. Morgan just using that defender as a screen and just sidearming it around the defender, putting it 5-hole on Bold.
Mammoth control off the draw again. They've had all the momentum early. Powell. Acquired at the deadline. Back pass in front. Pollock was open. He dropped it. Gets it back. Tries the wraparound. Off the goalpost. Bold looking shaky. Almost kicked that one in. Now here comes LaFontaine through center. Jones on him. Gets some separation, now he runs away. LaFontaine firing, an easy stop by Belanger. Then he quickly pushes it the other way. The Mammoth game plan perfection so far, allow outside shots.
And Adam Jones, not the biggest player, and he is an offensive player, a product of the Orangeville system. He can play both ways, but they should have exposed him a little bit more and gone to the hole on his side.
Powell on the right side, Delgarno. Delgarno shot well wide of the net. Powell won't get to it, and that'll be over and back again. Shot clock would have expired anyway, so it will be rush possession. We haven't even seen Mark Matthews on the floor once, and we played 3:30. The Rush really haven't had much offensive possession time. It's the best way to slow down a goal scorer. Don't let him on the floor. Here's Greer. Greer through the middle, firing well wide. Rebound, and Conway just had a bounce right over his stick. Now Greer battling with Morgan. Conway comes in. Ball still on the ground, and it's picked up by Holding.
Tough decision by Zach Greer. That's exactly what their offense has been doing. 5 seconds into the 30-second shot clock, they're firing it. Not everyone's getting a touch. You got to get in your groove, and everyone's got to get their stick going. We'd like to say more of Matthews' name, and these offensive players have got to get in the groove and start feeling the ball.
So the Mammoth shot, Bold with the save, rebound, and it's controlled by Rubish. Rubish bounce past the Toll on the boards. Toll now across the line with some speed. Fakes the shot, comes in diving, and he's stripped, lost the ball. Crease violation, it's picked up by the Mammoth, and the Rush really trying to force things early offensively. 4.5 minutes gone, 2-0 Colorado. Delgarno, who opened up the scoring, comes in, stutter step on Mitski, stops, back, firing, and Bold out to challenge. Rebound goes the other way with Dilks. Dilks running through the middle, weaving his way around McLeod. Now he gets across the line. Knight off the bench, coming in, firing, and that one hits a body in front. Rebound picked up by Mitski. Mitski to Dilks. Now the Rush will get some offensive guys on. Here comes Small. They go to Knight with Turner, Small, Matthews coming on now. Matthews still hasn't touched the ball. They go to Small. Small missing the net again. And Matthews came on the floor screaming for that ball. He really wanted it. They didn't give it to him, and the Rush looking rusty after a week off. The Mammoth with a great start, out shooting the Rush 6-2, and they lead 2-0 as you're watching the National Lacrosse League on the Lacrosse Network.
All right, we are back here at field level for the Pizza Hut Wing Street Wing Challenge. Let's get our 4 contestants and the wings out here. Darren, where are you at? Let's go, Darren. Carter, Kieran, Dallas, let's go, boys, let's go. We're on a time budget here. All right, here's how it works, everybody. Our 4 contestants will have 30 seconds on the scoreboard clock. The most number of wings takes home a $25 gift certificate. The rest of our contestants will only get $10. Where's our 4 contestants? Let's go, let's get your mouths over these wings. Come on, boys. We're gonna put 30 seconds on the scoreboard clock. Are we ready? 3, 2, here. What's your name, buddy?
Lee.
Lee, I didn't know you were in the contest. Lee wins, everybody. He gets a $25 gift certificate from Pizza Hut. Thank you for playing the Pizza Hut Wing Street Wing Challenge. Everybody, let's get off the field. Let's go.
Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Reebok. Redefine your game with Reebok's new Black line. Reebok Black was designed and engineered for the elite lacrosse player. Reebok's Black line features a lightweight and minimalistic design with carbon light technology. Performance-driven, technology-driven, NLL proven. Find the all-new Reebok lacrosse gear online at ReebokBlack.com.
Jason Gregor along with Kevin Howard, Rush and the Mammoth here at Rexall Place in Edmonton. Colorado leads 2-0, 5 minutes, 16 seconds gone. The Rush have dominated this so far in the first quarter this season, outscoring the opposition 52-26. The Mammoth have been outscored 45-39, but so far have had a perfect game plan offensively and defensively as they bring it back in. Pollock on the boards. Switches away from Corbeil now. An errant pass right into the stick of Quinlan. And the captain for the Rush. Stripped. Loses it. Now it's picked up. Corbeil just gets it across center to Toll. Toll. In the corner to Knight. And now Ward comes on late. His only second touch of the game to Greer. Greer waiting, spinning, dumps it off, and Knight dropped the pass, trying to run before he had it. And Rush offense just looks, they're trying to impress the home crowd too much. They're pressing.
Little sloppy and look a little complacent. I think you always need to have a little bit of urgency and want to go to the net, and we haven't seen that. A totally different offense than what we've seen them run on the road for the past 5 games that has given them success.
Clark with Cornwall on him. Clark airmails it off the boards, and that's going to be a moving pick away from the place. It'll be Rush possession, and here comes Dilks. Dilks down the left side. Coming in on Lincoln, back to Thompson. Thompson to Matthews. Matthews across the crease. What a save! It might have hit the cross, and then rebound. Thompson. Belanger was down, and he just put it over top of the net. Conway either hit the crossbar or Belanger made a ridiculous stop. Small. Rush with only 3 guys in the offensive zone. Coming on late, Matthews and Davis. Matthews fakes a shot. Turner drops it. Now goes over to Conway. Conway to Small, tried to quick stick it. Missed it wide of the net. And rebound controlled by the Mammoth.
Just getting back to that save. Unbelievable quickness by the goalie Belanger to get back. You see the big pump wind up by Matthews, and you have to respect that heavy outside shot, and he absolutely robbed Corey Conway on the crease on the back door.
Rubish stripped Grant as he tried to shoot it. Then they're going to say the Rush had possession. I'm not sure that was a possession or not. Nonetheless, Colorado gets a new set on the shot clock. McBride's pass off of Grant's stick. Toll on him high, so he'll go to Now penalty coming up to the Rush. McBride has it. No. Now it's good. Wow, Belon. That could have been a huge break. The shot clock said 12 seconds. See, I think they inadvertently reset it when they shouldn't have, Kevin. That's what I thought. So,
I'm not too sure. I saw Straight set his arm up. I thought a penalty was coming.
That's what I thought. So did Belanger. He left his net. That's a break for Colorado. The Rush didn't get the ball. So here's Small. Small working on the right side. Dumps it off. Greer wide open, and he missed the net. Now Conway tried to shadow him. He couldn't get the loose ball, and Dan Coates running the other way. Coates across the line. He'll just slow down and wait. Now he spins back. He'll head to the bench. Flip it for oncoming Jones. 6:42 to go in the first quarter. 2-0 Mammoth. Now Garno will open up the scoring to Powell. Powell on Cornwall. Powell spins. Cornwall sticks with him. Now Powell trying to get a pick and roll pass. A bouncer. It's picked up in the slot. Pollock, and he fired it wide. It goes in behind the net, and Delgarno tried to wrap it around. Stopped, and Cornwall headmans it to Thompson. Down low to Davis. Davis across, off the goal post was Matthews. Picked up by Small. So Davis on the left side working on Smith. Knight comes in, gets the pick and roll. Now back to Small to Matthews. Matthews firing, and he ripped it over top of the net. Small keeps it on side, but only momentarily. And Sapido controls it for the Mammoth. Davis going to stay out, play defense. He's probably the best defender of all the offensive guys. Now he'll head to the bench. Grant working on LaFontaine. Grant backpedaling shot, stopped. Rebound into the corner, bounces over all the sticks, and it's picked up by Clark in front of Corbeil, back to Powell. McBride fakes the shot. Now Corbeil right on his hands to Grant. Bounce pass intercepted, and here comes Quinlan. 2-on-1. Quinlan across the line. Walking in. Quinlan firing, and Belanger makes the save. He shows you an opening and then takes it away. Lightning quick, the goaltender so far for the Mammoth.
Belanger has been great in a great 2-on-1, and that was played perfectly defensively by John Grant. Not the quickest guy. Jimmy Quinlan, not the quickest guy either, but gets a good shot away, and Belanger shuts the door.
Ryan Dilks, exceptional defense. Stripping that ball in behind. Now they headman, and here comes Thompson. 3-on-3. Thompson coming out around his man. Off to Greer. What a save again, although Greer was in the crease, wouldn't have counted, as Ty Belanger putting on a clinic right now in goal for the Mammoth. They lead 2-0 as you're watching the National Lacrosse League on the Lacrosse Network.
All right, everybody, before we get into this, we have 2 Mini Crush girls that haven't been picked up from the back. The parents of Nadia and Ariana, please go get your children. That would help us out a lot. Okay, right now we're going to get into the Tim Hortons Get Creamed contest, promoting the awesome new pasta now available at all Tim Hortons outlets. Okay, Carla is with me. You've got 45 seconds to answer a series of questions, each more difficult than the last. Let's start with the clock and get ready to answer. First off, what is the score?
2-0.
Brilliant. How many donuts are in a dozen?
12.
Tim Hortons' new flatbread breakfast panini is grilled, baked, or fried?
Grilled.
12 divided by 3 is?
4.
What day was it yesterday?
Friday.
What are Timbits?
Little donut holes.
That works for me. Tim Hortons was a soccer, hockey, or badminton?
Hockey.
All right, spell panini.
P-A-N-I-N-I.
A Boston cream is a coffee bagel or donut?
Donut.
Boston creme, sorry. And what is a double-double?
Watch the NLL live on CBS Sports Network with live national broadcasts each week for the remainder of the regular season and playoffs, including the championship game. The next broadcast is on Saturday, April 13th, as the Philadelphia Wings host the Toronto Rock at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. To find the channel on your cable or satellite system, visit cbssportsnetwork.com.
Jason Gregor along with Kevin Howard, back live at Rexall Place in Edmonton. Mammoth leading 2-0. The Edmonton Rush got off to a very sluggish start, but they peppered young Ty Belanger in the last 5 minutes, and he has stoned them on 3 occasions. He had Quinlan on a breakaway, had Greer right in front of the net, made a huge save on Corey Conway, and now the Rush will go on their first man advantage of the night.
Give you an idea how hot Belanger has been. Phenomenal play by Zach Greer, and Belanger played that perfectly. He dove across the crease, pumped it far side, went 5-hole, and was still able to make that save. Very tough save to make.
So Matthews on the outside shot. That one just hit Belanger and ricocheted out of play. Now the Rush, as good as they've been offensively, their power play only 7th in the NLL at 44.6%. Greer and Matthews play a little give and go. Now Matthews to Greer in the slot, firing, and he hit Belanger right in the chest. Now Belanger right through the middle, pass, knocked down, and back come the Rush. There comes Knight. Rush had too many men on the floor and totally got away with it there. Bob Hamley was losing his mind, and rightfully so, on the Mammoth bench. Greer firing Belanger with another stop. Small, back to Matthews. Scores! Mark Matthews, 36th goal of the season, but only his 5th power play goal, and the Rush trail 2-1.
And Mark Matthews showing his hard, heavy outside shot, setting it up, running the top of this power play, and he's seen enough. He just wants to step into this one. Lots of time left on the 30, but he rips that short side to pull within 1 power play goal for the Edmonton Rush.
So Matthews, 36th of the season, and Thompson wins the draw. Back to Rubish, but that'll be over and back. Wow, what are the refs waiting for? You put the ball down, you're supposed to just go play it. And here come the Mammoth. Delgarno, who opened up the scoring. There's a high pass. Small and Greer with the helpers. The Mammoth ball's on the turf. Now Rubish and Grant battle for it, and Rubish comes up with it to Corbeil. Shots about the Mammoth have been outshot 8-1 in the last 8 minutes as the Rush finally woke up. But Ty Belanger's been unreal. Here's Turner spinning in. He's in the crease. No call, but Cepito intercepted that pass nicely, and back come the Mammoth. Cepito has McLeod streaking, but he doesn't pass it to him. Didn't want to force it, so he'll just slow it down, leave it for Jones. Jones to McLeod. Powell Nice move inside on Ward. Powell spinning back in the slot, shooting. Bold slides, makes the save. Rebound picked up by Ryan Ward. He'll go across to Mitski. Park on him, so Mitski leaves it to the goal scorer Matthews. Down in the corner to Small. Small behind the back, dangerous pass, and intercepted easily. And Morgan, who had the second goal, headmans it to Park. 2:28 to go, 2-1 Colorado leads. Park, Toll comes out on him now. Park, little stutter step. Shot clock down to 14 seconds. Park waiting, now he'll dump it to Delgarno. Delgarno to Clark, and Pollock just bit it hard. Clark stripped by Rubish, picks it back up, ball's loose, and it's shot clock violation before McBride could get it. Kyle Rubish leading in forced turnovers, very quick with his stick.
Yeah, doing a good job of knocking down those loose balls, and that's what you got to do as a defender, is get your stick in those passing lanes, and none better than Kyle Rubish, number 2 for the Edmonton Rush. Or number 4, sorry.
There's Greer's shot, hits Belanger's shoulder. Greer, though, gets the rebound. Great work, second effort, resets the shot clock. Turner now and Knight, moving around the outside. Down low to Davis. Davis tied for the team lead in power play goals with 5 to Turner. He's got a lane, firing, and Belanger just makes that save look easy. Almost baits them into one is shooting, and then he reacts so quickly and just takes it away, and back come the Mammoth. Sapito. They leave it for Jones. Grant comes on with Pollock and Delgarno, as well as Powell. Here's Pollock. Coming in on Corbeil. Pollock flips it over to Powell on the boards, working on the youngster. Cornwall gets around him, shooting. Scores, no goal. Crease violation by Powell as he undressed young Cornwall, though. There's Corbeil with some speed right through center. Corbeil, little stutter step, now goes down the left side. Flips it to the leading scorer, Ward. Ward to Matthews, one hand on his stick, but he was well in the crease. Wouldn't have counted, and Mammoth go the other way. Dan Coates leaves it for Pollock, firing, and that's an easy stop by Bold with 37 seconds to go in the quarter. Low scoring quarter, 2-1 Mammoth. There comes Davis. Acquired in a trade in the summer for Paul Rabel. Davis hammered to the floor, a big hit. Now Davis spinning, somehow comes up with it. Greer, shot blocked. Picked up by Belanger. And they will have a timeout. So they will have last possession. They'll pull the goalie and go with the extra attacker. Got to think John Grant Jr. might be involved in this, Kevin.
Well, maybe. He might be the shooter. You might want to keep your eye on him. But, again, having Casey Powell out there, whole new dimension. You mentioned it earlier, his shiftiness where he toasted Cornwall. That gives this offense a whole new dimension where you have a real solid, legit threat. And I truthfully believe that he's made Sean Pollock that much more dangerous coming on that right side as well. But Powell, one of the best field lacrosse players coming out of the U.S., and he's been around this game for a long, long time in the NLL, and very dangerous with both hands. He got a goal, good shot on net. It was disallowed because they said he was in the crease, but it took a little while for Aaron Bold to get his bearings here at home, but he's found his way, and he's been solid since letting two Genos in early.
Rubish, Mitski, Dilks, Corbeil, and Cornwall. Powell, Pollock, Grant, Delgarno, Jones, and McBride for the Mammoth. Pretty good six-pack of offensive gunners for the Mammoth. They wait for the whistle in. Wisewell and Williams, the officials tonight. And here comes McBride. Clock down to 8 seconds as he reaches the line. Powell quickly spinning across the floor. Powell's pass almost intercepted into the corner. 1 second left. They won't get a shot away as the buzzer sounds to end a low-scoring first quarter with the Road Mammoth leading 2-1. Jason Gregor along with Kevin Howard. You're watching the NLL on the Lacrosse Network.
Fire here with Carl Hager. Brace yourself. I'm standing in a place I have no business being in. That is the crease. Fellas, easy. The crease is the 9-foot radius area around the goal at each end of the playing surface. A goal is disallowed if a player scores while standing inside the crease or steps on the line that defines it. So remember, outside of the crease is the place you want to be. Right, guys? Oh, God, I'm dead.
Fans, here come the Dodge team, and they're throwing out I Love Dodge teddy bears to the loudest fans. And check out the Dodge vehicles now on the field. It's got the power and performance of a classic Dodge. It has the flair and style of a European. It's the all-new 2013 Dodge Dart. It's got some of the best wheels around, and with 180 plus horsepower, it's the kind of power everybody's looking for. And it's known as one of the smartest cars in the game. It's the most technologically advanced car in its class, but it's not just powerful and smart, it's well protected too, with class-leading safety features, so you feel safe coming into the corners. And with over 100,000 ways to customize your Dart, you can build it almost any way you want. It's made for the highlight reel. It's great on the road with up to 59 miles per gallon highway, so there's rarely ever a stoppage in play. It's the all-new 2013 Dodge Dart. Holy, we got a lot of birthdays here, everybody, so let's give a big shout out to all our birthday groups in attendance. Just got a new one here from Chance Sutherland, who's turning 12, and we also have Sebastian Smith, who is 7, Zach Brown, who's 14, Haley is celebrating her birthday with us, Reed Ashcroft is 8, Avril is 12, happy birthday to Megan, happy 13th birthday to Buddy, Caleb is 13 as well, Aiden Greenwood is 6, Hunter Morgan is 6, happy...
The Colorado Mammoth return next weekend at home to host the Minnesota Swarm. The game is on Saturday, April 13th at the Pepsi Center. Game time is 7 p.m. It's the final regular season home game for the Colorado Mammoth, and the game could have huge implications on the playoff chances for both teams. For tickets, visit coloradomammoth.com.
We start the second quarter. Mammoth go from our broadcast left to right, leading 2-1. Shots 13-9 in favor of the Edmonton Rush, but what matters most is the score, and it's 2-1 for Colorado. Delgarno and Morgan the goals for the visitors. Mark Matthews has his 36th to pull within one of league leader John Grant Jr. Here comes Small to Ward. Into the corner, Davis waiting for some movement. Davis looking for Matthews. Now leaves it for Small. A quick shot, and Belanger just technically so sound in between the pipes for the Mammoth.
I was just going to say that, but this Colorado defense doing a great job playing a nice tight house and keeping these shots from the outside. Edmonton's not getting any real quality chances, and Belanger's having a real easy time with stopping these outside shots.
Grant circling up high. Powell missed that pass. It goes into the corner. Davis pushes him into the glass. He gets the loose ball. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Outside stop, easy by Bold. And he'll just flip it for Davis. Davis headmans it to Cornwall. Cornwall across the line. He's got Knight off the bench. Put it over top of the net. Great burst of speed by Knight, and he just missed it. Cornwall gets to the rebound. And now the Rush will get the fifth attacker on. Turner to Greer. Greer waiting. Greer around his man, shooting wide. I know they're going to say Belanger got a piece of it, so they'll reset the clock. Knight outside the line. On the left side to Ward. Back low to Conway. Looking for a cutter, doesn't have one. Dumps it back. Turner's shot, Belanger, easy save. Rebound picked up by Reed. Reed being hounded by Turner. They dump it ahead. Warren long pass looking for a streaking Pollock was over his head. Ball's loose in front of the bench. Rubish had it and he throws it over to LaFontaine. And he'll bring it across center. 2 minutes gone in the second quarter. To Matthews. Matthews to Davis. Circling back to the line. Corbeil on an offensive shift. Davis now to Small. Small. Stutter step switches and he missed wide, going for the far side of the net. Just missed it, and then it bounces out of play.
This Colorado D's got to be tired. Out of about 2.5 minutes, they've played 2 minutes of solid defense. great job by this Edmonton offense to get those loose ball rebounds. There's nothing more taxing and tiring than having an offense that keeps going and keeps getting these chances. Something we have not seen in the first quarter, and Edmonton will tire this Colorado team down.
And now Powell on a turnover. Good shot, stopped, and Cornwall will run the other way. Cornwall with some speed across center with Thompson, Ward, now Turner busting to the net. Cornwall off the bench. Conway fire, scores! Corey Conway ripping one. Belanger was stepping out, and as he stepped out, he dipped down a little bit, and Conway ripped one over the left shoulder to tie this game at 2.
Wow, you will not see a better shot than that. Corey Conway taking about 3 steps into that and putting it right where the crossbar meets the post. Belanger did not have much of a chance on that. That was an absolute laser beam to tie this game at 2.
Rush win the face-off. Mammoth won the first few in the first quarter, and the Rush have dominated so far in the second. Greer comes on, leaves it to Small. Now back to Ward. Ward looking for Knight. Back to Greer. Greer. Turner tries to set a pick. Greer working on Smith. Into Davis, and Belanger makes the save. Davis hustles to get the rebound. Back to Greer. Greer will slow it down. Greer now working on Smith. Smith, great defender, so he has to force him back. To Ryan Ward. Rush made a change. Conway's back on now. To Knight. Knight waiting, spinning, dumps it back to Greer. 7 seconds in the shot clock. Greer looking for Turner. Turner gets it, and then he just fires it blindly. That'll be a shot clock violation.
There you see Keenan must have cooled down the troops, settled everyone down, and actually letting them, well, it's not even bad to run out the 30 and just throw it in the corner, because it tires out that defense, and they've gone through a couple real good sets this second quarter, and it'll pay dividends through the end of till the end of the game.
John Grant Jr., he's dangerous, so all 5 guys went after him. The ball's loose, now it's on the floor, still loose, and Thompson comes up with it. Thompson to Lintz. Lintz to Small. To Matthews. Matthews. Swim move around Morgan. Matthews now in front to Small. He missed the pass. It goes to Conway. Conway. Trying to bowl his way in. To Small. Down low to Matthews. 3 seconds. And he fires one just as the shot clock expired. And Belanger gets that big fishnet in there. Makes a save. And slowly to center come now Clark. Ball goes off the end of his stick. He didn't see it, and Rubish has it. Long bomb pass to Cornwall. It'll be a 2-on-2. Cornwall off the bench. Turner behind the Knight, walking in front, scores! Great 3-way passing play, finished off by Knight, his 16th of the season, and the Rush lead by 1.
Great heads-up play by Aaron Bull to get that play started. Way back, making the tough save, throwing it up to Cornwall, and there's a little bit of the Rush fast break 2-way play, and great finish by Knight. Hard pump fake, Belanger bit and just puts it in the yawning cage to take their first lead of the game.
Off the draw, Rush control it again. They seem to have possession for almost the first 5 minutes of this quarter. Here comes Ward. To Corbeil. Back to Conway. Now Corbeil ahead of the bench. Turner comes on. They go to a cut-in Greer. What a stop. Robbed again as Belanger's had Greer's number. And back come the Mammoth. Down the left side, Park to Pollock. Wide open is Jones, and he dropped the ball. And now Bold controls it. Now the Mammoth just can't get much going here in the second quarter. Cornwall has 2 assists for the Rush in this quarter. To Small. Came into the game with only 5. Turner rocked to the floor. Now he's from his knees. Still battling against the giant Morgan. Now they overrun it, and Smith will come in and pick it up for the Mammoth. Head to McLeod. McLeod trotting across the line. Back to Jones. Jones down low. Rubish is rocked by Grant Jr., and that'll be a moving pick. It will be Rush ball when we return. They got the lead 3-2 over the Mammoth. You're watching the National Lacrosse League on the Lacrosse Network.
And watch out for the World Health Muscle Cam. Show those muscles on the big screen for a chance to win a cool gift pack from World Health. Come on, kid, flex those guns. Oh, check out those pipes right there. Yeah, I totally work out. Come on, big boy, flex those guns. Let's see them. Woo! Check it out. There we go. Those kids totally work out and they totally hit the gym every single day. There we go. That kid works out too much on his right hand and not enough on his left hand. This kid's stuffing his face with popcorn, but that's okay. Oh, there we go. A couple of our Pee Wee lacrosse players. Check it out. Parkland Posse flexing it up for everybody. And she wants no part of this whatsoever. She has to hide those big biceps within that jacket. There we go. I don't know what muscle pose that is, but that's okay. There we go. That kid is the winner. He is going to get an outstanding gift pack from World Health valued at $350. Your gift pack includes a 3-month membership card.
The long road trip is over, and the Rush are now home for the final 3 weekends of the 2013 regular season. The next Rush home game is on Sunday, April 14th, as the Rush host the Rochester Nighthawks. Game time here at Rexall at 2 p.m. For tickets, visit edmontonrush.com.
Jason Gregor along with Kevin Howard back at Rexall Place in Edmonton. The Rush leading the Mammoth by a score of 3-2. Out-of-town scoreboard, Rochester doubling up Philadelphia 14-7. And Minnesota, this is huge for Mammoth fans. They lead Buffalo 13-5. So win by them and a loss by Colorado. That would force the Mammoth to have to sweep them in the final 2 games of the season to catch them in the West. There's still a very good chance of a crossover. We could see all 5 teams in the West potentially making the playoffs, as the Mammoth and Swarm each with 5 wins. Rochester now has 6, but Philadelphia and Buffalo both with 5 apiece. Now in front, Greer, and he tries to go low again. He just can't beat Belanger. And back come the Mammoth. They bring it into the offensive zone, holding it, waiting it. And Capito, he'll just dump it off, and Powell controls it. Powell taking some time. Now coming in with some speed. Give and go right in front, falling, and he missed the net was Pollock. Nice passing by the Mammoth, but Jones gets the rebound. Jones back to Powell. Powell to McBride. McBride drops it, and now Mitski's got it, and he's going to headman it. Thompson, oh, he had him, and he missed him. He would have had a breakaway. What an easy play that was just botched by the Rush, and back comes McLeod. McLeod looks up at the clock, mid-second quarter. Lots of time in the shot clock, 15 seconds as Clark comes on. Clark didn't see the pass as he was cutting for the middle, and it goes right to Rubish for Edmonton. Rubish, he'll just roll it to Corbeil. Edmans it to Dilks. Off the bench comes Conway. Over to Small with Matthews, and now Davis on. Davis with the lane. Davis, quick shot. Belanger lost it, and then Davis diving out, turned over, right in front. Matthews stoned as Belanger is keeping the Mammoth in it right now. Now Conway misses that pass from Davis. Ty Belanger has put on a clinic right now in net for the Mammoth. He's just keeping his team in it, Kevin.
He has been solid, and now time for this Colorado offense to wake up and start burying some of these chances that they've had. But this Rush defense has done a great job of keeping them to the outside, and Aaron Bowles is equal to the task.
So Jones spinning. He'll dump it back to Pollock. McBride looking across. Grant fires, missed the net. Rebound. Stoned by Bold, and he's got Quinlan. Down the floor, Quinlan waiting for it. Picks it up, and he won't force it. Now Quinlan shooting, and Belanger again. Where's the ball? He has it. They were shooting high early. Now they're trying to go low, and he's answered them all. He's stopped 22 of 25 thus far. To Clark. Clark comes on, leaves it for Powell. Quinlan was rocked on a great pick by Pollock. Now loose ball in the corner. Corbeil hacking at it, so is Quinlan. Mays has 6 players battling for it. It's into the corner, 1 second left. And the shot clock expires. Great effort by both teams there. Pollock and Clark working up against Quinlan and Corbeil, and all four guys go gas to the bench. Dilks tonight. Corey Conway looking to Greer. Looking in front. Knight switches hands. Weak shots. Stop. Smith gobbles up the rebound. Smith to McLeod. McLeod just gets it across center in time. Now they'll just slow it down. That's Park. The left knee brace on. Park to Jones. Into the corner. Grant Jr. at his 76th point of the season earlier tonight. High pass across. McBride gets it off the boards. Clark drops it again. Man, he's really struggled catching ball tonight so far. Having a rough one in the reception department. And here comes Rubish. Across center, under 5 minutes to go in the half. Low scoring affair, 3-2. Only low scoring because Belanger's been outstanding in the Mammoth goal, stopping 23 shots out of 26. Corey Small to Ward. Ward across the floor, wide open, waiting, and then Matthews pass, knocked down. Matthews able to get it. Now behind the back pass to Conway. Conway just throws it through the middle. That'll be a shot clock violation. And when we return, the Mammoth will have the ball. Their goaltenders kept them in it. One shot, they will tie it up. That's what great goaltending can do for you as you are watching the National Lacrosse League on the Lacrosse Network.
Great time here at the Edmonton Rush home game. Right now, we're going to see who will be the Cal Tire last man standing. Everybody up on your feet. If you're not up on your feet, you don't qualify to play the game, so get up on your feet. Okay. If you are from Colorado, sit down. If you are sitting in an odd-numbered section, sit down. Here we go. If you are not in section 134, sit down. We're down to section 134. If you are not in row 12, sit down. And if you are sitting in section 134, row 12, seat 18, you're our winner. Is someone sitting there? I hope so. There we go. Congratulations, Sean Gagnon, a proud Rush season ticket holder. You're our Cal Tire last man standing. Our event team will be right here. Oh, look, they're right here to present your prize. Thanks, everybody, for playing the Cal Tire last man standing.
NLL Radio offers the best online radio coverage of the National Lacrosse League. You can now listen to NLL Radio on your smartphone. Just download the popular TuneIn radio app and find NLL Radio under the More Sports section. Listen to great shows from around the league playing on a continuous loop. You can also visit NLL.com/radio and listen to any show you'd like at any time. Check out NLL Radio today.
Jason Gregor and Kevin Howard with you back live at Rexall Place in Edmonton. Rush leading the Mammoth 3-2. Mammoth will start with Belanger on the bench, the extra attacker, likely only for a short period of time with 4.5 minutes to go in the second quarter. And Ty Belanger has been outstanding. Mammoth have been outshot 26-13. Especially on Zach Greer. Greer could have had 4 goals, Kevin, and Belanger stoned him like on rock-solid chances.
I was just going to say, point-blank chances by Zach Greer, and he's doing the right thing. He seems to be overthinking things. He's diving across, reaching with his stick, and he may or may not have Belanger beat on that far side, but he's pulling his stick down underhand, trying to beat him 5-hole, and I'm not sure if that was a scouting report. We've seen a lot of shots go right in the stick of Belanger, and he's been able to turn that back up the floor in a fast break, but outstanding job by Belanger in this first half to keep the Colorado Mammoth in this game.
So the Mammoth got all sorts of turned around. They only had 4 guys on the floor coming out of that timeout. 2 guys went to the bench when Belanger came on. They didn't even get a shot out of it. So here comes the rush. Quinlan heads to the bench as he dumps it off for Conway, one of the 3 goal scorers for Edmonton. Back to Ward, leading goal scorer on the season. Or point getter, excuse me. Ward to Greer. Greer coming through the middle. He's got a lane firing, and Belanger again makes the save. Rebound controlled by the Mammoth. And Smith will just slowly trot his way to center. To Powell, quickly to Jones. Jones walking in. Pass intercepted. Here goes Dilks the other way. Dilks, Cornwall trying to catch up. Dilks won't force it. He'll just wait, get some help. Davis comes into the picture now, as does Knight. Small and Conway back on. And Matthews comes on as the late fifth man. Mark Matthews over to Small. Down low to Knight. Over to Conway, now to Matthews. Got a lane, fires, and he ripped it wide on the far side. And that ricochets out of play.
Fans, keep your head up. No mesh here at Rex all around. And lands in an empty seat and a lucky fan gets a souvenir. But you got to keep your eye on the ball at all times. It can fire into the crowd real quick and do some damage.
The fans love it, they say, having the no mesh. They say they can see better. There's Pollock. McBride drops the pass, now rushing back to get it. And he'll just shovel it. LaFontaine overruns it. And Grant's got 6 seconds in the shot clock. Walking in, McLeod shooting. Stoned by Bold. And LaFontaine got lucky because he ran right back into the crease there. Ref missed it. That's a break for the Rush. Rubish back to LaFontaine. Being pressured by Reed. LaFontaine rolls it. Nice job by Reed. Creates a turnover, and here come the Mammoth. And McLeod had it stripped from behind by Turner, but it goes forward, and McLeod gets to it. In behind the net. Now Greer trying to strip him. McLeod, nice job to fend him off. Dumps it back to Grant. There's Junior shooting, and saved by Bold. And mans it to Turner. Turner and Greer just dropped that pass, and here come the Mammoth. Quick break, they got a 3-on-2. Grant coming off the bench. Park to Lincoln, scores! And that's just a brutal play in the offensive end by the Rush. The Mammoth come back on a 3-on-2, and that's their first goal in almost 26 minutes. And they tie this game at 3.
Good fast break started by Jamie Lincoln, basically breaking up a sloppy offensive play by the Edmonton Rush, and then going down. He basically has free reign. You do not want to let John Grant shoot, and Dilks was more favoring that way. Lincoln makes no mistake putting that top shelf to tie this game at 3.
Surprised Lincoln looked off the leading goal scorer, but it worked. Now Matthews comes in. Matthews down low to Conway. Conway, nice little stutter step. Rush really aren't cutting. No one was going to the middle of the floor. Small fakes the shot. Small now across the crease trying to get it tonight. He tried a quick stick and he missed it. Is behind him. And back comes Holding, running the floor for the Mammoth. Holding working on Dilks. Down low to Park. Minute to go in the half. We're tied at 3. Pollock down low to Jones. Grant working on Midsky, just bullying his way in. Grant falling. Midsky's going to get a holding penalty. Powell gets the ball. 5 seconds in the shot clock. Down to 2. And they just get the shot away, but it's fired wide, and it will be Mammoth ball. They'll have a power play to finish out the half, 41 seconds.
And there you see the big body of John Grant Jr. just leaning in on Midsky. Midsky couldn't do much else. I guess his only other option was just let him go around him, but Midsky was just holding him up. As soon as John Grant tried to shuffle, got a little bit of a hook or a hold, whatever you want to call it. Great call by the referee, and we're going to get a chance to see this power play by the Colorado Mammoth, which ranks 3rd in the league. A very potent group. Casey Powell up at the top, and of course that very dangerous shooter, John Grant Jr. on that left side.
42 goals on 80 power play opportunities, only their first of the night tonight. And Grant on the right side, Powell up high. McBride, Pollock, and Jones, the crease men. Powell walking into Grant. Fakes, back to Powell, to Grant, to Powell. Fire, he scores! And he just ripped that one, top shelf power play goal. And just like that, the Mammoth lead 4-3.
Wow, what a shot by Casey Powell. An underhand to pull that short side. Very difficult. You may not think that's the most difficult shot to make, but it is very tough to put that shot through and thread the needle as Casey Powell did. Had a lot of time up at the top to beat Aaron Bold. Power play goal to take their second lead of the game.
And, the Mammoth have been outplayed here in the second quarter, but great goaltending. And now their offense kicks in with 2 goals in less than in 2 goals in 45 seconds, and they lead. Now they have a chance with the extra attacker to push it to a 5-3 lead. McBride and Delgarno working it around. McBride now to Powell. Comes back out high. Powell over to Grant. Cross shooting and bold. Nice slide to make the save on Pollock. Rebound. Pollock tried to wrap around. He couldn't get it. And the buzzer sounds to end the first half. Mammoth outshot 27-19, but they lead on the scoreboard 4-3. Rush didn't start great, but they've got to be happy with everything but scoring, Kevin. Have that many shots and that many quality chances. They've just got to find a way to beat Belanger. He seems to have their number. Some guys getting a little frustrated.
Well, 27 shots, that's a good offensive output. In the first quarter, they were a little sluggish, not getting too many very good opportunities, but they have pulled it together, and Belanger just shutting the door, absolutely robbing Zach Greer, who cannot seem to get this going, and Mark Matthews as well had some point-blank chances, and if it wasn't for Belanger, this could be a 9-4 game or 10-4 game at this point, but this Colorado defense doing a great job of holding them, and Colorado Mammoth going to the break with a 1-goal lead.
Once again, the out-of-town scoreboard, big one for the Mammoth because, Minnesota Buffalo, there is the crossover into play here. If the 5th place team in the West has more points than the 4th place team in the East, they will make it. And tonight, the Mammoth, a victory would put them still in a tie as far as wins go with Minnesota, but they would move ahead of both Philadelphia and the Buffalo Bandits, who are losing 18-5 in Minnesota tonight. Rochester already beat Philadelphia, so this could be a huge night for the Mammoth if they can hold on to this lead and win the game. Meanwhile, the Edmonton Rush, they of course looking for a victory, and if Calgary holds on to their 7-4 lead and Edmonton wins, they will secure their first ever home playoff date. So lots on the line for both of these teams in the second half, and we will return with the first half highlights and of course the second half ball drop as you're watching the National Lacrosse League on the Lacrosse Network.
Contestants, are you ready? 3, 2, 1, go! NLL Radio offers the best online radio coverage of the National Lacrosse League. Download the app and listen to exclusive live game broadcasts anywhere on your smartphone. NLL Radio is also your home for weekly shows and player interviews, and it's all free of charge. For more information, visit NLL.com. Redefine your game with Reebok's new Black line. Reebok's Black was designed and engineered for the elite lacrosse player. Reebok's Black line features a lightweight and minimalistic design with carbon light technology. Performance-driven, technology-driven, NLL-proven. Find out all the new lacrosse gear online at ReebokBlack.com. The National Lacrosse League games are now airing live on YouTube. You can watch the games live on your PC, laptop, iPad, mobile phones, and smart TVs. Watch the games anywhere and take the NLL wherever you're going. Visit NLL.com for more information. All right, fans, they've been practicing for months and months working on their choreography. You are in for a special treat. Let's welcome once again the 2013 edition of your Edmonton Mini Crush. Ladies and gentlemen, your future stars of the Edmonton Crush, they are the 2013 Mini Crush! The Edmonton Crush would like to thank the following partners for their support: World Health Club, Planet Beach, Independent Jewelers, Pizza Hut, Bold Salon Medi Spa, and Crush Hair Services are provided by the Ultimo Hair Group located in Kingsway Garden Mall. Rush fans, don't forget that Raise the Roof is Canada's only charity dedicated to finding long-term solutions to youth homelessness. Head to the Crystal Glass booth on the North Concourse. Head over there right now, pick up a $10 toque to help support this very worthwhile cause. And I've been told if I don't say that the Edmonton Outlaws Lacrosse Club is here, they're all going to beat me up in the parking lot after. So, Edmonton Outlaws Lacrosse Group, welcome. Thank you for coming out to tonight's game. I've done my duty. Please leave me alone. Thank you.
And that's Senior B, Kale. If you don't mention Senior B, they could also throw the wrath.
Thank you to the Edmonton Outlaws Lacrosse Senior B team. Thank you. Please don't threaten me.
I'm one of their favorite referees. They told me that once. No, not really.
Referee and favorite do not go together. You got to remember that.
All right, coming up on the floor here. You guys have got 7 minutes to play, so we got to hurry up, fellas. Sherwood Park Titans and the Edmonton Warriors. Take your spots on the field, guys. Hurry up, because we've got 7 minutes to play this game. Correction, you guys have 6 minutes to play this game. All right, referees, let's get down to center there and let's get this game on the road. And ladies and gentlemen, this is your championship game from this little mini Pee Wee tournament. A big thanks to both the Warriors and the Titans and their coaching staffs and the players for coming out to tonight's game. Fans, give them a big hand for coming out. He shoots and scores. For some parents, lacrosse can seem like a very rough sport. Having 2 kids that play it myself and having one that's headed off to university to play in a girls' field, I can tell you that lacrosse, however rough it looks, there are less injuries in lacrosse than there are in lawn bowling. There are more injuries per year, per capita in lawn bowling than there is in lacrosse. And 3.5 minutes left in this game. Oh.
This copyright telecast of the National Lacrosse League Incorporated may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of the National Lacrosse League.
Jason Gregor along with Kevin Howard. Back live at Rexall Place in Edmonton. 30 minutes in the books. We get set for the second half. The Mammoth leading the Rush 4-3 in a game the Mammoth desperately need to keep their playoff hopes alive. Keep right in the playoff race, keep pace with Minnesota, who had a dominating victory tonight. It's 19-7 with less than 2 minutes to go. They have won that game for sure, but Philadelphia and Buffalo both lost. So the win department, the battle for the crossover, technically we could see the 5 teams in the West finish better than 2 teams in the East, but the highest you can go, of course, is 4th in the crossover, so that, of course, is still possible. Meanwhile, the Edmonton Rush are looking to secure their first ever home playoff date. They need a victory, and they need a Calgary victory over Washington. Calgary leads Washington 7-4 at the half, so they're doing their business. The Rush not taking care of business so far here as they trail by the score of 4-3. The Mammoth opened the score, and they got up 2 early goals tonight by Delgarno and Morgan. Then Mark Matthews scored his 36th of the season. It was 2-1 after 15 minutes. The Rush then scored 2 straight. Corey Conway and Curtis Knight. Jeff Cornwall assisted both before the Mammoth scored 2 goals late in the second quarter. Jamie Lincoln and then Casey Powell on a power play to give the Mammoth the 4-3 lead. Shots 27-19 in favor of the Rush.
Well, this Colorado team has put it together late in that second quarter. This Rush offense has got to pull it together as well, calm the troops down a little bit and keep doing what they were doing basically for the mid part of that second quarter. They came out shooting blanks, and Belanger has stood his ground. Again, I think the scouting report was go 5-hole on him, but he's been stopping him left, right, and center, especially Zach Greer. Stone Mark Matthews in tight a couple times, and 3 goals. This high-powered Rush offense, second most goals per game average in the National Lacrosse League this year, and Belanger just doing a phenomenal job of keeping this high-scoring, potent mix at bay.
So the Rush with the possession to start the third quarter, and we are underway. As they working around the outside, Small, over-the-shoulder shot, and Belanger starts the second half like he finished the first with a big save, and the Mammoth with possession, and they bring it the other way. Delgarno across center. Back to Grant. Grant, of course, now with 76 points with that assist. Actually, he's got 77. He had 2 helpers in the first half. Grant now walking, firing, and Bold gets a right arm on it and a rebound. Cornwall speeds in to pick that up. So Bold, who was very good as well in between the pipes for the Rush. Nice save. Thompson spinning, shooting, and Belanger makes the save. Then Belanger able to scoop up the rebound. Headmans it to Morgan, who has his 6th goal of the season tonight. Morgan just throws Thompson to the floor. Back to Grant. Dribbles it. Grant fakes the shot. Now spins his way in. Grant right in on the crease, falling in it. Fell out of his pocket over top of the net. Picked up by the Rush, and they'll bring it back the other way. Jared Davis down the left side. Across the line, Davis walking in, firing, missed the net. And the Rush Belanger's got in their head. They're forcing. Now here's another breakaway pass missed. The Rush missed one in the first half, and there Clark was in all alone, and they missed him. Now they go the other way back to Davis. Davis waiting as Ward comes on the late man. Turner. Matthews setting some picks. Turner across the floor. Knight waiting, firing. That one hit a leg. And it was picked up by the Mammoth. They have it momentarily. There's a piece of equipment lost on the floor. Ward had the ball momentarily. Now the Mammoth just fire it the length of the floor.
They get called for that 8-second shot clock violation where you need 8 seconds to get it over that halfway point. One thing I just noticed, I look down, I see Ryan Ward's number, and I haven't even mentioned Corey Small yet tonight. I don't think I've heard his last name. Very, very quiet, and they're going to have to get some shots or get something going to do more of a balanced attack. Mark Matthews can't do it all himself.
And there's Belanger with 2 big saves. One on Matthews, rebound on Turner. Ward gets the rebound. Quick shot, and Belanger, another save. You're not going to beat him from outside. You got to get him moving, I think, Kevin. They're going to have to get some cutters to try to get Belanger moving because right now, positionally, he's perfect. Here comes Jones for the Mammoth. Aaron Bold's been pretty solid as well at the other end. Jones back to Delgarno, over to Powell. Powell coming around the side. He's got a lane. Thompson, though, great speed to come and catch him. And now Cornwall stick handles it away, and here comes Cornwall and Mitski, 2-on-1. Cornwall walking in, firing, and the save. Rebound, Mitski off the crossbar. Not sure if that one went down in the crease or not. The light went on, but I don't think it was in. It was Belanger behind the play, gives the old tap to the crossbar like a former Colorado netminder Patrick Waugh used to do all the time. Pollock. Back to McBride to Lincoln. Over to Grant, working on Rubish. Grant get first step, across the middle, waiting. Back pass on, rolls to Lincoln in behind the net. Lintz is on him now. Lincoln back. McLeod firing, scores. No goal. They're going to say the shot clock had expired.
No, he's calling it a
Is
goal now.
Is he calling it a goal now?
I'm not too sure. We could see a challenge flag.
Did he call it a goal? Originally, he waved it off.
It looked like he went to wave it off, and his arms just shot up, and there you do see the challenge flag from Derek Keenan. Not too sure what the ref was doing. I don't know if he knew what he was doing.
Yeah, because he went like this. He did the no goal, but
the wipeout.
Yeah, because he waved it off, and that's you see Keenan saying, "Hey, you waved it off," and then you signaled goal. I'm not sure how now. I'm not sure. Will they have the?
I'm not too sure if they have audio linked into the replay as well. Which, of course, if they do have a camera on that shot clock, or of course they'll ask the 30-second shot clock official, which is Sonny in the bench there. He was minding the 30-second shot clock. They'll take a look at him and see if his finger was on the button or if he did hit a reset. What happened there? But I believe, from what I could tell, I think the shot clock went. But it did go off Bold and trickled in. So whether he called maybe that was a shot and then trickled in after the fact, I'm not sure.
The ball, it has to be out of your stick before the buzzer goes, right? It doesn't have to be across the line, does it? I thought you just have to let the shot go.
No, it's not like in basketball. The ball has to actually land on goal, on the goalie or on net.
Yeah, before. So it. Oh, that's a tough one. So either way, it was like a millisecond, and something tells me they might take some time to figure this one out.
But Stripes didn't know what he was calling, but he did call it a good goal on the field. So I think conclusive evidence has to be shown. But it did go off Aaron Bold's knee.
Well, that was the interesting part because I was watching the official just to the right of Aaron Bold, and he had waved it off, and then he put his hands up afterwards. So now maybe that was just a reaction where he was thinking, and then he was thinking up, but he went. It happened. So I'm sure either way, one team won't be happy with this one. It's going to be a goal. So the Rush will lose their challenge flag. Rush bench not happy. And that makes it a 5-3 Mammoth lead.
Well, I think Colorado got away with one there. Just my opinion from what I thought I saw and heard at the same time. But ref saw it differently. He made the call on the field. And two-goal lead by the Colorado Mammoth.
So, Grant Jr. with his third assist of the night. Now is 78 points on the season. Powell with Quinlan on his hands. Powell spins away from him. Nice move. Now walking in, tried to make the shot. It hit LaFontaine's leg and picked up by Corbeil. Corbeil. And the Rush are going to have to find an answer to Belanger in between the pipes. He stopped 32 of 33 shots thus far. Easily the best goaltending performance I've seen all year. Matthews to Davis in front, wide open, and Greer just put it wide of the net. Rebound picked up by Reed. Reed being hounded. Reed has it, loses it, gets back to the goaltender, and they don't get it across in 8 seconds. Well, that was clearly not a... Wow, officials sleeping at the wheel again. The clock was down to 20 seconds, and they didn't whistle it across.
So it did take them 10 to get over. Of course, you have 8, then it's blown dead. Should have been rush ball, but again, Colorado getting the calls right now and see if they can take advantage of this.
Delgarno coming in quickly, right in front, shot, stopped. I'm going to say a crease violation. And now Cornwall. Cornwall to Ward. Now Ward and Small, the two of the top 3 leading guys, got to get going offensively. Now here's Small. Small's got a lane, doesn't want to shoot it. Wow, normally he'd shoot from there. Small to Conway, back to Ward. Ward working on Lincoln, firing. Belanger shoulder save, rebound. Park battling for it with Small, and he comes up with it, and now Park bounces it ahead, and here comes Lincoln. Lincoln through the crease, Pollock, and he's stripped by Quinlan. Nice defensive recovery, and back come the Rush. Rubish through center to Greer. Greer's had some great chances tonight, can't score. Now Greer going to the net, firing it, Belanger stones him again. Man, Zach Greer's had some great chances, and he cannot beat Belanger.
All from point blank, and it looked like he did try that reach around, didn't try going to the 5-hole, and Belanger throws the arm up and stones him point blank.
Now McBride shooting, and bold rebound, they score as McBride, excellent second effort. Capito might have been in on it too, maybe he got the rebound, and the Mammoth with a 3-goal lead.
Capito all over right in front of Aaron Bold, getting the greasy rebound, picking it up and scooping it, throwing it past Aaron Bold. It starts with a big heavy outside shot, which Bold makes the stop on. Just a hard-nosed play by Capito to get that loose ball and tuck it by to pull ahead 6-3 here midway through the third quarter.
Now Clark being hounded by the Rush. He'll just throw it back to Park. Park rolls it down in the corner, Holding running to it. Holding being hounded by 2 Rush defenders. Quinlan waiting. Quinlan still on the floor. Mitski now hammering it. And now Cornwall comes in to gobble it up. Mammoth had pretty much conceded. They only had 1 guy in the offensive zone. Mitski ahead to Matthews. Matthews trying the swim move. It's being held up. Now Matthews comes up with it. Leaves it alone. Now Ward away from Smith. 13 seconds on the shot clock. Ward to Small, firing, and Belanger again out to challenge. Makes the save. And he's making it look easy right now in between the pipes. And here comes Big Morgan. Back for the Mammoth. To Grant. Grant. Morgan to Powell. Powell on the left side. Underneath, Corbeil coming, shooting, scores! Powell beats his man, beats Bold, and the Mammoth with a 4-goal lead.
There you see that elusive quickness by Casey Powell. Shake and makes Corbeil underneath, diving across. Bold has to honor that and lean over. Just a small little window on that short side, and Casey Powell tucks it and pulls it back for the 7th goal of the game for the Colorado Mammoth.
So we take a break. Mammoth have stretched their lead to 4. Belanger's made all 10 saves in the third quarter. He continues to be the story as you're watching the National Lacrosse League.
Rush. With locations in Belvedere, Riverbend, and South Edmonton, we have been serving the community for over 25 years. We are here to help with motor vehicle accidents, WCB claims, and athletic injuries. For more information, visit innovationphysio.com. All right, everybody, big props tonight for World Health for being the official game sponsor for today's Edmonton Rush home game. Now opening their 11th location in Sherwood Park and 10 locations here in Edmonton. Great deal going on right now. Buy 1 year and get 1 free. Make sure you check out all the details on edmonton.worldhealth.ca. Rush fans, here come the Crush Dance team with the tri-line disposal ball toss. Get ready to catch those tri-line disposal balls.
Yes, fans, that is a brand spanking new t-shirt launching cannon.
Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Reebok. Redefine your game with Reebok's new Black line. Reebok Black was designed and engineered for the elite lacrosse player. Reebok's Black line features a lightweight, minimalistic design with carbon light technology. Performance-driven, technology-driven, NLL proven. Find all the new Reebok lacrosse gear online at ReebokBlack.com.
Jason Gregor along with Kevin Howard there at Rexall Place in Edmonton. The Colorado Mammoth have stretched their lead to 4. It is 7-3. Casey Powell, the only goal scorer with 2 goals, John Grant Jr. with 3 helpers. But the story of the game has been Ty Belanger in between the pipes for the Mammoth. He stopped 35 of 38 shots, and many of them have been point-blank opportunities for the Rush, especially Zach Greer, who just can't buy a goal. But Ty Belanger kept his team in it when it was 3-2, and now they've rattled off 5 straight goals, Kevin, to take this lead.
Well, this Edmonton Rush offense looks very one-dimensional. They're taking poor shots from the outside, but when they do get their good opportunities, Belanger's equal to the task in stoning them.
Well, here's the Mammoth. Pressured again, another turnover. The Mammoth have scored 5 goals if you go from the end of the second quarter to the start of the third in 9 minutes, and that's where they've taken the lead. Thompson being hounded, back to his feet, now dumps it back to Conway. Conway to Turner. Conway waiting, now they go to Ward. Rush just aren't having anybody cut, they're shooting from the outside. Greer now gonna go into the lane, shooting at Belanger, squeezes the legs, makes the save. Davis hustles to the rebound. Davis to Conway. Waiting, cradling, and firing off the goal post. Conway seems to be the only guy that can beat him, and now Reed's got a lane. Reed with some speed down the right side, but he won't rush to the net. He'll just spin back, leaves it for Delgarno. Delgarno directing traffic. Now he flips it off to Pollock. Over to Powell. Powell coming down the side. Over to Grant. Quick pass. McLeod spinning back. Now he's going to regroup. Dumps it in front. Grant. Shot. Stopped by Bold. And he'll leave it for Lintz.
You say Corey Conroy seems to have the only shot that's having any success. Corey Conway has that high release point, overhand shots, and he's picking those top corners, and they seem to be beating them where everyone else is going underhand and low.
Now Matthews couldn't take the pass from Greer. And quickly headmans at Lincoln. Nice one-handed reception at center. Lincoln, one of the most high-scoring transition guys in the NLL. He's got 15 goals. Plays both gates. Very versatile player. Mammoth coming in. Down low, Jones. Thompson all over him. Shot clock down to 6. Jones tries again. Now he goes back. Shot. Bold save. Rebound picked up by McLeod. McLeod goes in behind the net. Lintz still on him. They go back to Grant. Grant, 224 working on Dilks. Grant waiting. Pass, hits a stick. Now ricochets back out to center.
I'm not sure how that wasn't over and back. John Grant took 2 steps over the center line.
Are they going to say because it deflected off the Rush defender? I don't know.
I think he picked it up and then ran over the center line is how I saw it, but nonetheless, Rush get the ball back and pull it back.
Now Conway with a burst of speed. Conway shovel pass. Turner puts it over top of the net. Great reception on the rebound by Reed, and back come the Mammoth. Capito walking in, coach shot, and he hit Capito right in the helmet. And then that one bounces off the glass. Quinlan comes down with it. Quinlan to Corbeil. 4:25 to go in the third quarter. 7-3 Mammoth. Davis to Matthews. Matthews firing a bounce shot. Easy save by Belanger. They'll just told him we got a penalty coming up to the Mammoth. Is Clark going to get a slashing call?
I think he called a holding.
He's going to get a holding the stick call against Clark. So when we return, the Rush will go back in the power play. They're 1-for-1, and that's one of the rare ways they might be able to beat the red-hot Ty Belanger as you're watching the NLL on the Lacrosse Network.
The Leduc Rec Center, River Valley Health, Rogers, the Sudden Place Hotel, and the Grind Sports. Who likes free stuff? It's time for the Crystal Glass T-shirt toss. Here comes the Crush team, and they're firing T-shirts into the crowd. Get ready to
Watch the NLL live on CBS Sports Network with live national broadcasts each week for the remainder of the regular season and playoffs, including the championship game. The next broadcast is on Saturday, April 13th, as the Philadelphia Wings host the Toronto Rock at 4:30 Eastern. To find the channel on your cable or satellite system, visit cbssportsnetwork.com.
Jason Gregor, Kevin Howard live. Rexall Place in Edmonton. The Ty Belanger show continuing. He stopped 38 of 41 shots. The Mammoth lead 7-3. Rusher back on the power play. They are 1-for-1. Matthews has his 36th goal of the season on that one, as Clark sits for 2 for holding the stick. Greer and Small will have Ward, Knight, and of course Matthews will be the shooter at the trigger man in the high slot. Matthews and Ward playing a little give and go. Matthews to Ward, passes behind him. Ward had it in his stick, drops his stick. Now him and Rory Smith battling for it, and they're going to say it's loose ball interference on Ward. And here comes the Mammoth being pressured at center. Powell rocked on a big hit by Rubish. That gets the crowd going here at Rexall. Don't see big hits in the open floor like that very often in lacrosse, and now Toll comes up with it. And then Powell and Quinlan.
Powell a little frustrated, goes right after Quinlan's head, high stick, and
that's going to be a penalty. Now the Rush will have an extra attacker on. Here's Greer. Now it's 6-on-4. Wonder if that'll be a 5-minute penalty. We'll see. Greer behind the back. Matthews across the crease. What a save! Are you kidding me? Unbelievable as Knight looked skyward. He cannot believe Belanger made that save. This kid is unreal tonight.
Belanger very much like Dominic Hasek, just falling back and I don't know if he got his glove on that, a stick on it or what, but Stone Curtis Knight point blank. He's been doing it all night and keeps it up. And Casey Powell going to the box to sit down for 2.
Not sure what Powell can be complaining about. That was a completely legal hit by Rubish. But the Rush will now go on a 2-minute they got a 5-on-3 for 50 seconds. You have to score, especially on the 5-on-3. The way Belanger is playing tonight, I'm not sure you can think you're going to score more than 8 goals on them. So I don't know if they can give up any more right now. So they'll go with Ward, Knight, Greer, Matthews, and Rubish is going to play Rover. Matthews, big body and reach down low in the crease. Look for that. So Knight, Ward, Greer. They play a little give and go. Knight now on the crease, being pressured. He'll retreat back to Ward. Ward, Greer behind the back, Matthews. Tonight he scores! No chance for Belanger. Tick-tack goal, and the Rusher within 3.
Good ball movement. They work the ball all the way around the horn and find Knight. Goal line extended right there, and he makes no mistake to squeak that one by Belanger. Long time coming, as Belanger had quite the string of minutes put together with shutting the door, but a 5-on-3, they were able to solve him in the Rush. Still have 1:44 to go on the power play.
And right off the face-off, Rush with possession. So they'll go right back on the man advantage. Knight, Ward, Small, Greer, and Matthews. They work it around. Right in front, Ward. Somehow they gave Corey Small an assist when he wasn't even on the floor. So they'll have to change that.
It was Zach Greer passing
Yes.
it from the shooter position down to Matthews.
So Mammoth trying to kill off some time. McLeod in the neutral zone. Him and Jones try the old hidden ball trick. McLeod comes up with it. McLeod to Grant. Down low to Pollock. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Pollock protecting that ball. Now he's going to go to the net. Dilks pushes him behind. Well, that could have been a cross check by Thompson. Pollock lost his helmet now. Pollock getting into it here. Referee in fast. Pollock doesn't like it, and I think he actually has a legitimate beef there. I thought Thompson had a cross check right in the numbers, and he got away with one.
Very aggressive play by the Rush defenders, trying to get that ball back and get it back in the sticks of their offense, who's gone 2 for 2 on the power play. 49 seconds to go, and they got to keep this offense rolling.
So Ward back to Matthews. Fakes it to Ward. Got a lane. Walking in. Ward shooting. Scores! Ryan Ward and the Rush 3 for 3 on the power play, and they're within 2.
Ryan Ward with that overhand shot from the right side, just basically taking advantage of the guy who's favoring over to the very dangerous Mark Matthews, and he dipsy doodles right in the middle and beats Belanger short side top shelf to pull within 2. Power play marker for the Edmonton Rush.
And Rush now with 4 20-goal scorers. That's a second time in franchise history that's ever happened. We'll have a little trivia question for you later, Howie. See if you know who the other 4 were. And here come the Mammoth. Trying to get the momentum back. Here's Powell, who took that undisciplined penalty. The Grant off the bench, McBride. Doesn't shoot it, goes on the right side. Delgarno, stutter step, waiting. Working on Matt LaFontaine, great move, Delgarno, and he fires it over top of the net. What a fancy move. And then Corbeil, rebound. Leaves it to Rubish. Under a minute to go in the third quarter. Rubish to Davis. Davis down low to Conway, fakes the pass in front, Greer, and he's stoned again. I think it might have hit the goalpost, or Belanger got him again. And Belanger must look like a giant. Now here's Matthews behind the back, Greer, and he couldn't hold the pass. And the Mammoth headmanning up to Reed. Reed with some speed down the right side, walking across the line. Dumps it back to McLeod. 20 seconds on the shot clock, 27 on the score clock. Grant trying the swim move on Rubish. Now they dump it back off the bench. Here comes Powell walking in. Stunner step, shooting, missing on the short side. Then Dilks has the rebound, and the Rush will run the floor. Down to 10 seconds. Dilks tonight. Extra attacker coming on late. I'm not sure he'll matter. Here's Small, and he doesn't shoot it. Corey Small. Just bad awareness. And there is Smith trying to draw the penalty. Are they going to call it? I don't think the refs will fall for that one. Everybody knows that Rory Smith, one of the toughest guys in the league, would never go down that easy.
And he went bull rushing after Corey Small, and Corey Small, a tiny little guy, just stick up for himself, jumps into Rory Smith, and he goes flying yard sale. They aren't falling for it, and that brings us to the quarter break.
So after 45 minutes, the Mammoth leading the Rush 7-5. Rush out shooting them 45-27. Ty Belanger has been outstanding. A huge game for both these teams. Lots on the line. Stick around for the final 15 as you're watching the National Lacrosse League on the Lacrosse Network.
Grab your 50-50 ticket. Here is tonight's winning number that you will split with me, please. 50-50 draw supports the Greater Edmonton Lacrosse Council, your kids and mine. The winning number is 26082. That's 26082. You won a bunch of money. I don't know how much, but it's a whole bunch. If you have that winning number, please go to the Norris Gas Services desk to claim your prize. You have 10 minutes to claim it. Good luck to everyone. And checking our out-of-town scoreboard, Edmonton's trying their best. We need this win, Rexall. You got to help out. But checking out the out-of-town scoreboard down in...
The Colorado Mammoth return home next weekend to host the Minnesota Swarm. The game is on Saturday, April 13th at the Pepsi Center. Game time, 7 p.m. It's the final regular season home matchup for the Mammoth this year, and the game could have huge implications for both the Swarm and the Mammoth. For tickets, visit coloradomammoth.com.
And we start the fourth quarter. Face-off violation against the Rush Thompson. And so it'll be Mammoth ball. Shots 45-27 in favor of the Rush. But they're trailing. Here's Grant working on Corbeil. Grant, swim move, switches hands, backpedaling, pass. And oh, Pollock had a wide open net and just missed the pass. Shots were 18-10 in that third quarter. And if it wasn't for the power play, Rush might not have scored. They're 3 for 5 on the man advantage tonight. Or 3 for 3, excuse me. 3 of their 5 goals on the man advantage, and back comes Edmonton. On a town scoreboard, Washington's come back. They now lead Calgary 10-9. They're Mammoth. In front, Corey Small, and he had that ball just stuffed in his pocket, couldn't release it, and it's picked up by Colorado. They will now push it to center. In the neutral zone, just moving it around. Dumps it back to Jones. 14 seconds of shot clock to Grant. Mitski comes on him. Grant across the floor, and McBride's shot was hit as he tried to get out of his stick and way over top of the net. And here comes Thompson. Knight off the bench. Thompson to Knight. Stops. Doesn't shoot it. He'll dump it back to Dilks. Dilks to Greer. Greer now working on McLeod. Greer, stutter step. Doesn't go to the net. Spins back to Turner. Turner. Now waiting for a pick. Gets one. Comes in the lane. Turner. Just a wild backhand over top of the net. And that'll be a shot clock violation. Conway gets that one away. I love Belanger. He doesn't even move. That kid has got all sorts of confidence right now. I don't need to move, risk an injury on an errant shot. No chance.
I'm not throwing my hand in front of him.
Jones, spin move. Quinlan strips it. Jones kicks it up to himself and loses his stick. Rubish comes up with it. Rush to Toll. Headmans it to Corbeil. Rush have not scored in transition tonight. Something they've been very good at this year, but credit the Mammoth. They haven't let him run the floor. There's Knight. Belonger's playing, I'm not sure the Rush can afford to give up another goal. Here's Turner. Backpedaling to the right boards to Greer. Back to Turner. Turner. Greer falls. Turner trying to bowl his way in. Right on the crease now. Can't get in. Great defense by the Mammoth. Back to Ward. Firing a long shot wide of the net. Rush have had 3 possessions, Kevin, and they haven't had a good shot. The Mammoth, excellent defense in this final quarter.
Very inconsistent on this offense. All they do is just they're sitting around working the ball around the horn, waiting for someone else to shoot. They need to get a little bit more urgency and actually send some cutters through the middle to open things up, something we have not seen out of this group all evening.
There's a pass intercepted by the captain, Quinlan. He'll run the floor. He's got Corbeil. And Quinlan didn't want to force the pass. Corbeil with some great speed. We'll see if the Rush attack Powell down low. Matthews quickly gives it up to Knight. Back to Small. Now Powell gets up high. Matthews high shot. Belanger makes a shoulder save. Davis back to Matthews. Down low to Small. Small around Powell, firing Belanger, another stick save. Matthews rebound, across the floor, Conway waiting on the crease, and Knight dropped the pass. Knight gets it back again. Knight out of the corner to Conway. Conway firing, Belanger slides and holds on as he felt it maybe squeezing behind him, but to no avail. And back come the Mammoth, 10:20 to go, Colorado leading by 2. McBride in the neutral zone to McLeod. McLeod circling down the left side, firing. Bold kicks that one out easy. Right back to McLeod though. Comes to near side Grant. John Grant. Shovel pass back Delgarno. Down low, and McBride swung and missed on the quick stick, and here comes Cornwall. Cornwall with Ward. Cornwall down the right side. Waiting. And now Rush almost had too many men on a legal change. Conway. Back to Turner. Off the ball. Greer in the slot. Davis shooting and stoned by Belanger again. And no rebound. Up to Park. Lincoln was streaking up the floor, but he didn't want to force it. He'll just slow it down in the neutral zone. And their goalie's this hot, the Mammoth can afford to take all 30 seconds on every possession. Jones. Right in front, and Aaron pass, and Aaron Bold picks that up. Now Quinlan being hounded by Powell. Quinlan gets away from him. Now he'll run to center. Quinlan down the right side. Stone on a breakaway earlier. Quinlan then pass misses Knight into the corner, and it's picked up by Smith. Knight now battling with him, and then Reed comes on to pick it up for Colorado. Reed, lots of great speed right up the middle of the floor. Leaves it for Delgarno. They wait as McBride and Grant come on late. Delgarno swings it across. Oh, that one misses Pollock, but he gets it off the boards. Pollock got a penalty coming up to the Rush. Here's Pollock. Scored! Oh, crease violation, no goal. We're going to have a holding call against the Rush.
And Hamley's got the challenge flag in hand. He looks up. Of course, it was waved off right away. And Hamley looks up to see, should he throw, should he not throw. That would be a huge goal for the Mammoth.
He got a power play. I'm guessing he'll put that in his pocket. No, he is going to throw it. There he goes. So they'll throw it, which would, and now if it counts, it negates the power play, of course. So it would work like a power play goal either way. And we'll return, find out what the situation is on the goal or no goal as you're watching the National Lacrosse League on the Lacrosse Network.
Hey, Rexall. Okay, have a look at this replay for me. You make the call. Was he in the crease? I don't know. Didn't seem that tough. Are you sure that was a crease violation, Rexall?
The long road trip is over, and the Rush are now home for the final 3 weekends of the 2013 regular season. The next Rush home game is on Sunday, April 14th, a matinee affair as the Rush host the Rochester Nighthawks. Game time here at Rexall is 2 p.m. For tickets, visit EdmontonRush.com.
So no goal, but the Mammoths still have the man advantage. 8:28 to go, 7-5 Colorado leading. They've been outshot 49-29. Ty Belanger with, for me personally, I've been calling lacrosse games since 06. This is the best goaltending performance I have seen live in person. He's been phenomenal. And the power play, the Mammoth have an opportunity to give him a 3-goal lead midway through the fourth and final quarter, which could be huge for them, especially the way their goaltender's playing.
Yeah, and you know what? Full marks to the defense for this Colorado team. They are a very big bunch. Of course, you have Richard Morgan, who's a monster at 6'8", but you also have big bodies like John Orson. I'm not sure how tall he is, but he is a big boy back there, and just a big group all together. And they've done a great job of keeping this Rush team to the outside, whether they are doing such a great job of keeping them outside or they just aren't cutting and getting the body movement like they need. And that's something that's been a problem all year with this Edmonton team. Inconsistent play where they are doing that one shift, they come out the next shift and they try something totally different and get away from what they have success. And that's why I think they've only put up 5 goals here tonight, gone away from what they've had success and what they've been winning with in systems and strategy for the last 5-game winning streak.
Yeah, definitely a hot goaltender plays a part of it, but you're right. They haven't had a lot of cutters where Belanger has had to really go side to side. Colorado's defense obviously playing to the strengths of their goaltender, who is very sound on his angles. Well, the Mammoth 1-for-1 on the power play. They came into the game third in the NLL. They are now 43 of 81 for 53% on the season. Very good power play. The Rush come in with the league's worst penalty kill. They've given up 28 goals on 46 chances. Mammoth looking to salt this one away maybe. Powell and Grant. Now they switch. Grant. Over to Jones. Back to Grant. Pollock. Waiting, shooting. Bold slides. Makes the save and no rebound. So that'll help them kill off some time. Drubish runs the floor up to Davis. Davis, Small, Conway, and Matthews. To Matthews. To Davis, 13 seconds on the shot clock. Rush will likely wait till the final 4 or 5 seconds if they even take a shot. Now Davis. Davis got a lane, fires, and he missed on the far side, and that one bounces out of play, and will be Mammoth ball, $1.09 remaining on the man advantage.
1 minute left to kill off of this penalty. Come on, Rush, kill it off.
Well, Mammoth locking in, they leave it to Powell. Powell and Grant play a little give and go. Now Grant slides across. McBride shot blocked. Corbeil's going to have a breakaway. Here's Chris Corbeil with some speed across the line. Running in, shooting, scores! Chris Corbeil on a great individual effort buries his 9th of the season, and the Rush are within 1.
Chris Corbeil, great job of knocking down that shot by Jordan McBride, and he's off to the races. Nobody's catching him. Short-handed tally. Huge goal for the Edmonton Rush to pull within 1 with 7:14 to play in this game.
Huge potential turn of events here. A power play, they don't score, and the Rush pull within 1, but the Mammoths still have 46 seconds remaining on the man advantage. Well, O'Talon wins the draw, a big one to Park. So Park, cross center. So Grant working on the left to Powell, behind the back, McBride, shot, Bold, squeezes in behind him, and now the ball's loose. Mammoth, Pollock has it. Mitski all over him. Back to Powell. On the crease, McBride stepped in the crease, and that'll be a crease violation. 12 seconds to go. Here comes Cornwall running the floor. Cornwall, and he won't force it, and the Rush have killed it off and scored a shorthanded goal. That's a huge turn here in this game. 6:29 to go. As out of the box comes Dilks, and we'll go to 5-on-5. Greer to Knight. Shooting off the goalpost. Ward gets it back. He'll settle it down. Knight back to Davis. Over to Turner. Turner up high to Knight. Knight to Davis. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Davis looking for a cutter. Missed it. Now Mammoth come up with it. And they will push the pace. Lincoln showing that great speed running up the floor, but now he'll spin head of the bench. Now they do dump it to Lincoln, but he'll just flip it to Jones. Jones to Powell with some speed. Powell working on Quinlan. Toll comes in. Powell stutter step again. Goes across Jones. Firing, scores! Adam Jones rips one through Bold, and the Mammoth regain the 2-goal lead.
Tough goal for this Edmonton group. Adam Jones on laser beam from the outside, just gets it late in the 30, and he whistles one through the 5-hole of Aaron Bold.
He's a scorer. That's his 26th of the season. And the Mammoth regain the 2-goal lead. O'Talon and Thompson battling for it, and Mitski comes out of the maze with it. Mitski off the bench. They go to Conway. Conway to Small, Greer, Ward, and Matthews. Small fakes the shot. Now he leaves it for Conway. Conway to Small. Back to Conway, over to Greer, firing, scores! And Zach Greer looks ahead and says, finally, his 9th shot of the game, and he finally gets a goal, beating Belanger, who didn't see it through his screen, and suddenly we've got an offensive explosion.
Well, Zach Greer, you know there's a lot of relief there. Finally solves Belanger. Not too sure how many opportunities he's had tonight, but he scores a big one at an opportune time with under 5 to go, pulling the Edmonton Rush within 1.
That's his 23rd of the season for Greer. And here comes the Mammoth. Small and Conway with the helpers, and here's Pollock. Pollock zings it across, looking for Jones off his stick into the corner. Jones gets it back. Shot clock down to 2 seconds. Jones, and he tries a wraparound, got it away, but Bold makes the save. Headmans it. Here's LaFontaine. 4 minutes remaining. 1-goal game. 8-7 Colorado leads. Knight fakes the pass. Goes across to Turner. Turner to Ward. To Turner, well over his head. Now Greer, stick handling it, gets it back. Davis, not going to get a shot away, I don't think. Nope, that'll be a shot clock violation. Aggressive defense, and we'll return. 3:39 remaining. Do not go anywhere. Mammoth and the Rush, an exciting affair. You're watching the NLL on the Lacrosse Network.
All right, congratulations to our 50-50 winner tonight. Kirk Mockford, winner of $5,431. He's going to meet everybody on the concourse, and he's buying the first round. Attaboy, Kirk.
All right, everybody, we hope you're enjoying the game tonight. Make sure you come on by the North Concourse to check out the World Health booth. Play our spin to win game for your chance to win some awesome prizes. World Health is giving away gym passes, sports bags, and so much more. Get more information by going to edmonton.worldhealth.ca. It is time for the
again on the Lacrosse Network tomorrow with live coverage of both games on the Sunday NLL schedule. Join us at 3 Eastern for a live exclusive broadcast as the Toronto Rock try to nail down the East Division regular season title, which they can do with a win against the Rochester Nighthawks. And a 4 Eastern, it's the Philadelphia Wings taking on the Minnesota Swarm. Watch both games live tomorrow right here on the Lacrosse Network.
Jason Gregor, Kevin Howard with you. 3:39 to go. A tight affair here in Edmonton. Out-of-town scoreboard, Minnesota 1-21-7. Rochester beat Philly 14-7. And Washington and Calgary are going back and forth. It's now Washington 12, Calgary 11 with 5 minutes to go. And all those games have implications for all these teams. Washington, Calgary. Washington, a victory would secure them a playoff berth. And the Mammoth want to keep pace with Minnesota and also get a game up on Philly and Buffalo in the crossover. So a huge final 3.5 minutes. Here's Grant walking in and he bounces one wide and out of play. Good defense by Mitski, and here comes Thompson running the floor. Thompson headmans it to Cornwall. Cornwall to Thompson. Shooting blocked. Rebound. Picked up by the Mammoth. And now they're going to run the floor. 2-on-1. Coming in Lincoln White on the screen. He ripped it over top of the net. Right to Rubish. Here come the rush. 3-on-3. Rubish and Corbeil. He'll slow it down. Under 3 minutes to go now. For Small. Takes that with one hand. Small. Rush got to get some guys on the floor. They only got 4 on. Now though, little malfunction at the junction. Matthews, a long bomb shot. And he runs into his old man. And now the Mammoth. Oh, Reed would have had Holding wide open with Grant, but couldn't get that pass. Now Holding has it. Right through the middle, Pollock. What a recovery by Jared Toll to get into Pollock's stick. And back come the Rush. End-to-end action. None of the shots actually hitting the net, but it's been a hell of excitement. Here's Rubish for Edmonton. To Ward. Ward tried to force a pass through the seam, misses Matthews, and it's picked up by the Mammoth. Up to Park. 2 minutes to go now. Mammoth will use the 30, I'm guessing now, nursing a 1-goal lead. To Holding. Is Pollock slowing it down? Now down low. Powell looking across. Great reception by Jones. Jones now trying to bull his way in. Spin move, shooting. Stop. Rebound. Almost kicked into Bold. And then he bounces it to Dilks. Dilks with 1:35 to go. Edmonton trailing by 1. Staying in his goal will be Bold. They go to Small. Small. Cross to Knight. Knight. Defender fell. Conway and airmailed the pass. Here's Small. 3 seconds. Small shooting over the top of the net. The Rush haven't hit the net in the last 3 minutes. And here comes Lincoln. Final minute to go. 8-7 Colorado. A goal here would be huge for the Mammoth. McLeod. And Grant comes on. You got to think. And they go right to him. Here's Grant. Coming off the bench. Working on Rubish. Grant's pass to Pollock. Pollock got a man open in front of McBride. Stripped and he ran through the crease. So it will be Edmonton ball, and Bold will head to the bench. Extra attacker coming on. 40 seconds to go. Crowd on their feet. Rush for the extra attacker. They're 3 for 3 in the power play. We'll see if they make it tie game here. Here's Ward directing traffic. 16 seconds. Ward walking in, shooting off the goalpost. He hit the goalpost. Ball's loose. They battle for it. And Belanger comes up with it. Belanger, headman. And Bold sprinting to his net. Down to Grant. Scores! With 8.9 seconds to go. Grant's 38th of the season. And a Mammoth victory for Colorado on the road tonight.
And John Grant finally getting on the score sheet with a big goal. 8.5 seconds to go. Aaron Bold could not get back in time to stop that one. And off the post, great shot by Ryan Ward. Couldn't put it 2 inches inside, or we would have had a tie game going overtime. This one looks all but over.
And off the draw, ball's loose. It's picked up by Smith. He'll have it. And that will end it. The Edmonton Rush. Better effort, but they still can't win at home. They're 1-5. The Mammoth stay right in the race. They improve now to 6-8 on the season. Minnesota's 6-7. For the crossover, Philly and Buffalo are both 5-7 and 5-8, and 5-9 respectively for those two teams. And the Mammoth final 2 games against the Swarm, so they definitely control their own destiny, win both, and they're into the playoffs. But a disappointing loss for the Edmonton Rush. A victory would have all but secured them one home game in the playoffs, and now they're going to have to win their final 2 games to guarantee a home playoff date.
A couple more chances. They have a shot to get back in the W column against Rochester Nighthawks, of course, the defending NLL champions. Not an easy task, and this league is so great because every game means so much, and any team can beat any other team on any given night. And we just saw that with the surging Colorado Mammoth beating the previously hottest team in the NLL, the Edmonton Rush, coming into this game with a 5-game road win streak, and that's stopped here at home. They need to solve this issue of playing at home. The crowd was great. It was a great atmosphere here tonight, and they weren't able to give their home crowd that W that they needed to secure that home playoff date that these fans and this city so badly deserves, and they've been waiting for so very long.
Well, the Rush outshoot the Mammoth 54-35, but Ty Belanger, the story of the game. And you know what, the Rush, they got a lot of looks, Kevin. A lot were from the outside, Zach Greer especially. But you know what, when it wasn't working early, to me, up until their power play got 2 goals, their offense was dead. And I just, Colorado's defense, I give them credit. They played them to the outside, and when they did have a breakdown, Belanger was standing tall. The Rush didn't have a lot of cutters, though, offensively.
They didn't. They seemed content to just fire it from the outside. Not a whole lot going on. You'd see flashes of it here or there. One guy would break, and it would cause a great opportunity, and they just weren't on the same page today. And I'm not too sure if they were a little complacent in practice or what they changed up, but it was not the same group that we've witnessed over the last couple games that they've had so much success and climbed the ranks to be that second most goals per game average. Only putting up 7 tonight, not good enough, especially at home. They are the top team in the West, but if they keep this effort up, they might be sinking pretty quickly. Great group, but they just need to pull it together.
Disappointing loss for the Edmonton Rush, but a huge victory for the Mammoth. So many possibilities for playoffs. Let's say the Mammoth and the Swarm, and Minnesota does have 3 games left, of course. They play tomorrow. Mammoth will be cheering, obviously, for a victory in that one. Not for the Swarm, of course, but if they split their final 2 games, they both have a minimum 7 wins. That means Buffalo would have to win both of their games, and Philly would have to win 2 of 3 to tie those 2 teams to avoid them going in the crossover. And so there is a potential to see all 5 Western teams making the playoffs this year. Actually quite good.
And again, the West, there is quite the logjam. So many different scenarios all the Rush can do is just keep winning and control your own destiny, which is all you can ask for at any time. Is just go out there and put the 2 points on the board and not worry about help from any other teams. But great league, great season so far, and a tight race in the West, and hopefully the Rush can keep this together and put up a couple more points.
Actually, looking at it, Colorado, this might sound strange, they might actually cheer for Minnesota tomorrow, because if Minnesota beats Philadelphia, that would drop them to 5-9, meaning they'd have to win both of their games if the Mammoth could win one of their final ones. So it's you look at it statistically, that might be the better route to take for them. Obviously, Colorado, if they win both of their games, it won't matter. They will automatically make the playoffs in the West. Philadelphia plays Toronto next week. Buffalo is in Washington, so those are difficult games for those two teams. And then Philly's on the road in Washington as well. So if Philly loses tomorrow, Kevin, not a great schedule for them. I think the Mammoth have a very good shot, regardless of where they finish in the West, of making it in.
Again, all you can ask for is to control your own destiny, and Colorado has that position, and especially if they ride the shoulders of this hot goaltender, Belanger. He was spectacular tonight, and, great supporting cast. John Grant put up a ton of points. He had a goal and a handful of helpers, and you know what, Casey Powell, great job, good bull rushes to the net, and just sprinkle in a goal from Delgarno and a goal from Jamie Lincoln, a little bit in transition, and there you have a pretty good mix. Very quiet night for the rest of the offense, but they didn't need it tonight because they had spectacular goaltending, stopping 54 shots, only letting in 7 for this against this high-powered Rush offense, and pulled out the W for no question in my mind, the player of the game for Ty Belanger.
And Zach Greer, 1 goal on 13 shots they finished with for Zach Greer tonight, and many of them glorious chances, and Ty Belanger just had his number. Greer's been red hot the last month, and normally with those amount of looks, he would have had 3 or 4 goals tonight, but credit, as you mentioned, our star of the game, Ty Belanger. Once again, the Rush back in action next Saturday, Sunday afternoon, when they take on the Rochester Nighthawks. Meanwhile, Colorado and Minnesota will go at it next Saturday night in Denver at the Pepsi Center. Get down to Denver and watch that game. On behalf of Kevin Howard and our on-site engineer, Troy Bowler, I'm Jason Greger, saying good night from Rexall Place. Be sure to stick it here on the NLL.com. You can watch all the post-game reaction.